LaMaquinaDeportiva.com.
Good, the whole audience, guys.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming today to this Habitat for Humanity New York City construction site. My name is Josh Lockwood. I'm the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity New York City. And on behalf of our organization and all of Brooklyn, I want to give a big thank you to our friends at the Mets and at Citi for helping to hold this incredible day and offer incredible support to Habitat for Humanity. We have a few folks here today that I'll introduce as part of our press program, including Mets stars Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling, who will speak to us later. A few moments I just want to speak about Habitat for Humanity to give you a sense of what's happening here today and the exciting things that are going on throughout the borough of Brooklyn and throughout the 5 boroughs. A lot of people, when they think of Habitat for Humanity, think of Jimmy Carter and a rural home building model, but that's not what we do here in New York City. When we get a very small piece of land, we build up. And we serve as many families as possible. Every year, we have thousands and thousands.
Thanks, Josh, and good morning, everybody. It's great to be here to represent the Mets and our ownership, Fred Wilpon, Saul Katz, Jeff Wilpon. Every person at the Mets is involved with community service. We have the good fortune of being in the fun and games business. People come to be entertained, and so far this season we've had quite a few entertaining games, and we expect to have a bunch more as we kick off the second half of the season tonight at Citi Field. But whether you're an owner, whether you're a senior executive, whether you're a staff person, whether you're a concession worker, everybody at the Mets is doing something in the community. And the guys behind me, Ronnie and Keith, representing not just the Mets, but SNY in their daily vocation now, it's part of the top-down philosophy of doing well while doing good. And we have the enormous opportunity to shine the spotlight on great organizations like Habitat, and the great leadership that Josh provides here with Habitat NYC. And really, the credit for the connection between Habitat and the Mets really comes through Citi. So James, we thank you and your colleagues over at Citi for doing that. There are so many wonderful organizations that we can partner up with. And when the folks at Citi said, we're deeply involved with Habitat, we teamed up with them. We play in a team sport. What Habitat's all about is teamwork. Volunteers, public and private sector coming together. So it's great that Keith and Ron can come out here, because that's the reason why you from the media are here. You're here to probably talk to them, and I'll shut up in 1 second so you can do that. But without Keith and Ronnie giving of their time representing SNY and the Mets, likely the message about Habitat, it's one less opportunity to shine the spotlight on what Josh is doing, what the volunteers are doing, what the politicians are doing, and ultimately the families that will be in these beautiful new homes as part of the redevelopment of Brooklyn. So on behalf of everybody over at Citi Field, thanks so much for coming out and being part of today's special event. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I want to say thank you very much to Habitat for Humanity for having us here. The Citi volunteers. I know there's a lot of other volunteers. We want to recognize them, and Keith and I are pretty humbled to be here and see this great piece of work go up. Keith and I were lucky enough to be visited by Georgette, Regina, and Sherelle at the ballpark, and look at their faces of being in our small booth. They were excited, but I think we were excited to see them. And this whole thing is all about people that are doing what you're supposed to do, giving them a chance to have a roof over their head, and their chance for their kids to do their homework, as James said, but even more importantly, a chance for them to watch a ball game under their own home. Although that's watching Keith and I, that might not be a great idea. But all that is good is here. Keith and I are considered now Mets alumni, which means we're old guys who can't play anymore. But what's great about it, partnering with Citi, but even more importantly with the Mets, is that we get to be teammates in the community. At some point, Keith and I are helping in our community, helping with people that are less fortunate, and that's kind of been the obligation of all time, hasn't it? Is that Keith and I have had a lot of wonderful things that have happened to us in this town, and it's really nice that occasionally we can do a very small part to help our community. So I really want to thank you. I want to thank Citi. Of course, I want to thank the Mets, who have done a fantastic job here, and Habitat for Humanity. I've been around them many times now, and it's just, it's all love. It's pretty cool to be around. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to be here, and I can only echo what everybody else has said here. This is a wonderful program, Habitat for Humanity, and the Mets are so involved within the community here in the greater New York area. They do so many wonderful things and charitable things, and this is one of them, and also Citibank. Citi also is to be commended for getting involved in this wonderful project. I actually did something in New Jersey last summer with Habitat, and I helped build a home out there, went out there for a day. So I'm very much familiar with this, and there's a lot of people involved that donate their time, guys that come here on the construction site and work, construction workers that donate their time. There's people that work in the Habitat offices that have to keep this thing up and running. So there's a lot of good feeling, a lot of good people working hard to help the community. And it's just a wonderful program. So it's just my pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting back up there. So thank you for having me.
This house is gonna fall apart. Keep us on the job. It's back. Go ahead.
Comment the seat.
Thank you very much.
Very violent.